the objective of today's interaction is to understand, make all of you understand some of the clarifications you might have into how you can win the competition, how you can perform well in the competition, what are the panelists or the judges looking at. If you are preparing a presentation or a pitch deck, what all aspects do you need to cover? How many slides? What are the typical questions a potential investor or a potential judge or even a customer can ask you? Okay, so if you are presenting it to an investor, if you are presenting it to your family, to your friends, asking them to invest in your company, if you are investing it to a potential co-founder, if you are sharing this communication with a judge or a panel of judges in a B plan competition, broadly these are some of the points which you need to share. You need to start with the executive summary. A summary is like a one page or a one slide document which summarizes your entire presentation. Uh, you can then start with what is the problem you are trying to solve through your business. Now, the problem is for the business from the customer's point of view. So, the problem is not from your point of view that you want to earn more money. The problem is from the customer's point of view that what is the problem. The second is what are you doing to solve it, which can be your idea. Idea is nothing but a solution to a problem. Then you can follow it up with a BMC, which is a business model canvas, which we have already done in our sessions last year, which typically tells them how are you going to give value and earn money out of as a return of that value. In case you have something which you can trademark, patent, or there is something unique about your business model, maybe it's technology, or there is some other thing which you know which others are not doing, then you can always share that as what is the value proposition or what is different about your enterprise compared to the other options. Sales and finance, so you can always briefly tell about the marketing and sales strategy. There would be direct or indirect competitors. You don't need to copy what they are doing, but you can always tell what they are doing and how you can differentiate yourself. And awareness, your team, which is your management team, you can communicate about that. Financial projections means you have to give a 3 to 5 year future projection plan. And if you are already running a business, then you can share the balance sheet and cash flows. Second last, you need to ask how much money do you require, how much funding is required. You may not require a funding. Not every business requires funding. So friends, you may say that I don't require funding. I am bootstrapped as a company and we are going to invest the earnings which we receive from the customers for our growth. Every business has a different funding strategy. You may have some of your own savings as well, or some other ways of raising funds. You can also tell if you are asking for money, how much money do you need now, any accomplishments, any proof of concept, any happy customers feedback, in how much time do you need that money. So you don't need 1 crore today, you may need 20 lakh per year for 5 years. And you also need to tell that if somebody gives you 20 lakh every year for 5 years, so how would you use 20 lakhs? How much for HR? How much for marketing? How much for sales? How much for operations? How much for supply chain and delivery and other aspects of business? So broadly, these are the slide decks as well. Let's first cover these before we jump to another slide. Yeah, so you can communicate your vision in a story format. By story format, I mean you can give an example of, there was a person called X, he or she had a problem, and this is the way we solved the problem. Or there was a company called XYZ, they had a problem and we solved their problem like this. In case there are multiple team members along with you, give clear instructions that you will speak about this, you will speak. Don't keep it like a school presentation that every person has to be given 30 seconds. We are not kids anymore. So only one or two good speakers who are good public speakers in your team can speak. Have energy in your tone of voice, because if you are not energetic, why would somebody listen to what you want to say? If you are giving a presentation, the font size should be big enough. It should be more visual, no spelling mistakes, be focused. Don't use a lot of industry jargon, because a lot of panelists may not understand So broadly we have shared with you what has to be done if you are pitching into a competition. So now please feel free to ask your queries.
Startup overrated? Like everyone want to invest in that and everyone want to start something, but data shows different. You like out 100, like 2 to 3 are grown. Show some light on this particular topic.
It's a perspective, Shivam. Some would say an MBA is overrated. Some would say a startup is overrated. Some would say getting a job security is overrated. So it is a very individual way of looking at it, Shivam. There is no rule which says startup is overrated. Startup is nothing but starting something, Shivam. If you do not get a job on time, you will definitely, want to grow your skills and income by doing something of your own. So a lot of people get a chance to have a job. A lot of people do not have a chance because of education or family circumstances. So they have to become self-employed and they start up on their own. Now what I see from your messages, you are looking at something which is what media shows. So media is paid, Shivam. मीडिया को पैसा मिलता है to talk about startups. So there are millions of startups or companies which are doing very well, but they are not advertised or shown in the print media or the television media or the social media because they don't pay to the media agencies to show what they are doing. That's PR. So you only hear and get to know about less than even 1% of what's happening in the startup ecosystem. So everyone wanted to invest in that. I don't know if everyone wants to invest in a startup. You think that would you be investing your own money into a startup, and what would be your parameter? But data shows different view, like 100. So it's a number game, Shivam. I was recently watching Discovery and National Geographic, and they were saying that the polar bear has a successful attempt of hunting after every 20 attempts. So a polar bear, which is considered one of the best predators in the world, has 20 chances before they get a meal, before they get a kill. So obviously there is success comes after a series of failed attempts, Shivam. So not every startup goes, not every student becomes a CEO. So everyone has a different story. So your percentage is right. You should focus on what you want to do, Shivam, not what others are saying. There are two theories in startups. One, startups are focusing on profitability from day zero, which is a traditional way of growing business, that we will grow slowly and steadily, and then we will earn profit from every deal. And there is a new theory which has come in the last 15-20 years, is to first grow at scale, focus on growth and not on profitability. Now that is only possible if you have money in your bank or in your bag. So there are some investors who focus on expanding and growing the market share at the cost of profit, and that is a risk which they take. When they take a risk, when they invest in 10 companies, 9 companies do not become profitable, but one company becomes profitable. So it is like playing a lottery for the investor. So don't confuse yourself as a founder or investor. As a founder, have a clarity on the problem you are solving. As an investor, obviously you have to hedge your money. So if you put money in 10 buckets, maybe 8 to 9 buckets will not give you the return, but one bucket may give you extraordinary return. So that is the investor point of view, which is projected in media. There are enough and more founders who are doing their job without bothering about publicity and media, Shivam.